What's good, Beast Hounds? Kick and Raid, ready to set beast. I want to talk to you today about intelligent arm training. But first, a disclaimer. I am obviously not a bodybuilder. And the arms that I do have, I would say, were 92.67% built on some sort of variation of pull-ups, push-ups, and dips. I'm not really an isolation kind of guy, but as we're in isolation, I bumped up my training from 3 to 4 times a week to 6 to 7 times a week. Now, I can't maintain the level of effort I put into those 4 sessions if I'm doing 7 of them. So I've been keeping those main 4 sessions largely unchanged and adding in a couple of strength or conditioning sessions. Or what else have I been doing? Arms. Sunday is the Lord's Day, and Lord, do we want larger arms. So as I said, I'm not a bodybuilder. This is not the kind of thing I'd usually be into, but it is not outside my wheelhouse. I program a lot for group sessions, so it's hard to be super specific, but I do put a lot of thought into where we've been, where we're going, and how best to maximize our progress considering what we smashed up last session. So, that said, here's me putting a lot of thought into a standalone arm session. Right, we got 6 exercises, 3 bicep focused, 3 tricep focused, and then a little dessert course of your choice. Little warm up first, and then what you're going to start on is going to depend on what you started on last time, or what you like to focus on. So if you started with triceps last time, start with biceps this time. If you just want to develop some gnarly thickness, start with them triceps. We're going to kick things off with our compound movements. So for triceps, that's going to be a dip. The dip is going to hit all 3 heads of the tricep. To make sure you are emphasizing the triceps and not the chest on your dip, try and keep your chest upright and you're coming straight up and down. We're going to be working in the hypertrophy range for all these exercises, so you want to be hitting roughly 8 to 12. If you can't pull off a single dip, do negatives at a tempo that lets you get between 8 and 12. If you're a monster, add weight until you're in that 8 to 12 range. For all of these exercises, go heavy enough that you can use good form, but that 12th rep is really a grinder. So, first bicep exercise, dealer's choice. You're either going to go with a neutral grip pull-up or hammer curls. That neutral grip is going to engage the brachialis, which lies underneath the long head, and when it grows, it pushes up on that long head to enhance that peak action. The difficulty peaks at the midpoint when you're directly fighting gravity. Reasons you might choose hammer curls over the compound pull-ups. Well, for me, I do pull-ups basically every day. This workout is supposed to be a change of pace, something spicy and exciting. So I run with hammer curls. You might not be able to do pull-ups. You might find that your pull-ups are very back dominant. You might just want to manage your fatigue. All these are good reasons to go for hammer curls in this instance. For the curls, neutral grip, squeeze the core, squeeze the buns, try not to swing, pin the elbows into the side, and the weight comes down under control. You're stronger on the negative, so let's use that power. So we've gone tricep big mover, bicep big mover, back to triceps. Kickbacks. For a kickback, the arm is going to be behind the body, which is going to put emphasis on the lateral and medial head. And the difficulty curve is going to peak right in their most contracted point. Whereas with the dips, with the arms behind the body, also lean on the lateral and medial head, the most difficult point is at their lengthened state, at the bottom of the dip. You can either take a split stance and lean over, or take a rowing stance and rest your chest on something, or lie on an inclined bench, whatever you feel best. Elbows stay back, wrists stay straight, squeeze at the top, control the weight down. Biceps, spider curl. I prefer an easy curl bar as it puts your wrists somewhere between neutral and linear. If you experience discomfort in your elbows or wrists, or you're worried about asymmetry, maybe you have one arm that really takes the force, feel free to use dumbbells. The spider curl puts the arms in front of your body, targeting the short head of the biceps, and puts the peak difficulty closer to its contracted state, whereas the hammer curls put the peak difficulty around halfway. When I first did these many moons ago, in one set I strained my neck like crazy. I was obviously trying to pull a weight that I wasn't equipped for, and my neck decided to get involved, if it could give me a hand, and I spent the next week looking around with my torso instead of my neck. And I learned that day to keep my neck out of, well, basically any exercise that isn't direct neck training. The answer is always a neutral spine. So chest into the bench, shoulders back, elbows forward. Last two. The lying tricep extension puts emphasis on the long head by putting the arms above the body. Its peak difficulty is at the fully contracted position. Now for this one, you're going to want to keep your elbows angled away from your face at around 45 degrees. Try and hold those elbows in place and straighten your arm around them. I'm not against the elbows moving away from the face in the bottom position because that's going to give you a really nice stretch on the triceps. But I don't want the elbows coming back over the face because that's going to take a lot of strain off the triceps. We've made all the effort to do the exercise, why not do it right and maximize the time under tension? Try and keep those elbows reasonably tight in. For the bicep, an incline curl. Arms behind the body means an emphasis on the long head. The peak difficulty is around the bottom third of the movement. Go palms up. Angling slightly away from the body helps me pin my shoulders back and take them out of the equation. Make sure you're getting a full range of motion so you get a brutal squeeze at the top and an amazing stretch at the bottom. So there's your 6 exercises, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, couple of minutes rest, move on to the next one. You could easily go home now and call it a good day, but I like to do one burnout set of either biceps or triceps to fully bro out, enjoy my pump, and make sure there was no gains ungotten. If I'm doing biceps, I like an old-fashioned 21, so 7 full range of motion bicep curls, 7 bottom 50% range of motion curls, 7 top 50% range of motion bicep curls. On the way down, on the last rep, hold the isometric at the midpoint for as long as you can. All that stopping at the peak of the difficulty curve really hammers the crap out of them. Ups the time and intention, ups the gurn face, ups the gains. Triceps. I recently bought the cable upgrade for this rack and I've been enjoying cable push down drop sets, going to failure on 3 weights, really ruining the rest of my day. If I didn't have the cable, I'd do standing easy curl overhead tricep extensions in the 21 style. Again, elbows in tight with that isometric hold only if it was safe to drop, or I could rack it, or there was someone to take it off me. Well, there it is, intelligent arm training, so you can come out the apocalypse looking huge. If you're gonna give this a go, drop us a like, let us know how you get on, subscribe if you'd like to see more from us, get them gains, be well.